Hi everyone, I'm Moriarty. I'm the Africa Program Director at Wildland Adventures, and today I'm going to go over what I'm packing for an upcoming 3-week trip to give folks some idea of how they can pack themselves. It's one of the most common questions that I get, and so hopefully this will be helpful for anybody thinking about what to take with them and what to leave behind. Let's start off with the bag that I'm using. This is a soft-sided duffel, so it conforms to the restrictions that we'll have on a small bush flight, which typically says that you can't have any rigid structures or wheels. So it's just kind of a basic duffel bag, but it's got some nice features to it. It opens up with a clamshell lid, which gives you plenty of access to get to everything that's in it. It can be used as a duffel. It's also got these tuck-away backpack straps, which are really nice that you can connect and then wear it as a backpack. It's also fairly lightweight. I think it comes in at around 2.5–3 pounds or so. So you're not using up your weight limit on the luggage itself. You'd rather use it for what you're going to put inside it. So let's go through some of the things that I'm bringing. For footwear, I typically will bring a pair of light hikers that I'll wear on the plane. I'm also bringing a pair of sandals and a pair of sneakers that I can also use as running shoes to get some exercise while I'm there. A bathing suit. I've got 3 pair of socks and some underwear as well. I typically don't bring a lot of that sort of stuff because you can wash it along the way. Same thing with pants and shirts. I'm only going to bring 2 long sleeve synthetic travel shirts and then 3 cotton button down short sleeve shirts. It's going to be pretty warm where we're going on this trip, so I don't need to bring a lot of heavier clothing. If you're going somewhere where it's going to be colder, obviously you'll probably swap out short sleeves for something longer. For warmth, I'm bringing just a really lightweight fleece that I can combine with a windbreaker or light rain jacket, and that provides enough warmth. So I try to go pretty light with that. I'm bringing an extra t-shirt. I'll have a t-shirt on the plane as well. So between those 2 things, I'll have more than enough shirts. For pants, I've got 2 pair of synthetic kind of hiking pants. They're pretty lightweight. I'll also be wearing a pair of jeans on my flight. So all told, I'll have 3 pairs of pants. Don't forget to also bring a lightweight belt. I'll also be wearing a belt on the plane, so you've got that as well. I also bring a lightweight pair of cotton pants to sleep in, which can be nice, especially if it's going to be really hot. And that's kind of about it for clothing. Let's talk a little bit about this guy, which is going to be my first aid kit. Since we're going to a really remote area, I'm bringing a slightly bigger first aid kit than I typically do. If we're going somewhere, spending most of our time in cities, I will almost bring barely anything, maybe a couple Band-Aids. But for this trip, since we're going to be pretty remote, I'm bringing a little bit more. So just briefly going over what I'm packing. Let's start off with some over-the-counter medications. They're nice to have. Ibuprofen, a little bit of Dramamine. I've got Sudafed, Benadryl, Claritin, and Tylenol. That should cover pretty much anything that I would encounter. I bring a small roll of athletic tape, which can be nice. I bring some slightly larger non-stick pads and 4x4 gauze pads. Just if you fall and get scraped, get a little road rash or something, these can be really helpful. An ace bandage. I've got some Neosporin, which can help any small cuts or nicks heal up a little bit quicker. Assorted Band-Aids, steri strips, a little bit extra gauze. I've all got packed in here. I've got a pair of medical gloves, which is helpful, especially if I encounter somebody else that needs help. Obviously, if it's me or my wife, I don't need these, but for anybody else that I'm encountering, it's nice to have a pair of these along. And then I just bring a syringe to be able to clean and irrigate any small wounds that I might have. So again, this is pretty robust for a first aid kit. I typically don't bring all of this, but for this trip, again, because it's an extended trip to some remote areas, I'm packing a little bit more. I bring a reusable water bottle and a drum, which allows me to carry up to 2 liters. This is really lightweight. Having these 2 things along also helps me to avoid using single-use disposable plastic bottles. So it's really nice to bring a reusable water bottle along with you. For toiletries, again, I use these little bags that you can get on most flights. You know, it makes a convenient little sack to kind of separate the contents in your luggage. Again, remember, don't forget to put your liquids in a Ziploc bag. So I've got some conditioner. Shampoo's widely available. Conditioner, not so much, so I bring some of that. Toothpaste, hand sanitizer. I bring a beard trimmer with me. This sucker will hold a charge for about a month or so, so it's nice. I don't have to bring any sort of cords or anything to go with it. If you have a beard, you don't have to worry about that. On this trip, I'm bringing some meds. I've got my anti-malaria pills. I've got my Cipro, just in case I need an antibiotic, and then just personal meds, and then toothbrush. So pretty simple toiletry kit, nothing too extravagant. Again, in most towns and cities around the world, you can get what you need. So if we run out of something, or if I happen to forget something, I can always pick it up in the country. Let's move on to electronics. I always bring my smartphone with me, particularly for Wi-Fi. You can make Skype calls. Internet quality around the world really varies. So I don't tend to upload or do posts or anything like that while I'm out. I tend to just save everything and then upload it when I get back. I'll bring my camera. So I bring a pretty beefy camera, batteries, memory cards, and chargers to go with that. And then I also bring quite a bit of extra electronics. Most people probably wouldn't need all of this, but I bring a portable external hard drive that I can use to save and back up photos along the way. I've got a zip strip multi-outlet, which is really helpful to charge multiple things at once. So I can plug this in and get multiple outlets, and then I only have to plug one thing into the converter. I bring a small electricity converter with me. I've got a mobile flexible tripod. It's really small. This is great for my GoPro or for attaching things to like the arms of vehicles. It's really flexible. This is really handy. And I've got a bunch of GoPro equipment and my GoPro in a Ziploc bag here. So different mounts. I've got a head mount, and then memory cards, batteries, and then the charger for the GoPro is all in there. I've got some lens cleaner, a microfiber cloth, and then again another charger, this one for the smartphone. And then this thing is the power cord for my laptop. So I also bring a small laptop so that I can do some work on the plane, but also so that I can back up photos. So I can back it up on here and on the hard drive. It's not a bad idea to try to back up your photos in multiple places along the way. You can also use this for digital journaling if you want, but it's not required. I just find it really helpful to be able to get some work done. And then lastly, I bring a day pack. And typically what I'll use this day backpack for is my camera equipment, and I'll carry my money in it as well, which I seem to have misplaced here. Oh no, it's in the bag. So here I just keep a pretty simple money pouch that you can get from most banks. They'll give them to you. And then you can kind of separate your cash with smaller money envelopes in there. And then I keep this on my person. Some people prefer to use money belts, whatever works for you, and depending on the safety and security of the destination that you're going to. But that fits in there, and then I fill this with my camera equipment, and then a spare layer, maybe my water bottle, and then a lightweight rain jacket, and I'm good to go for the day. And then the last thing over here is just a travel journal to be able to keep notes along the way. Whether you're documenting the animals that you see, the places that you go, or the guides that you have, it's really nice to be able to try to record as much of your memories as possible and just set aside some time each day to reflect on what a wonderful adventure that you're having. So there you have it. This is everything that I'm packing for a 3-week trip. I weighed it all right before I started shooting this, and it came out to be 27 pounds, so still 5 pounds under the 33-pound limit, which is the most restrictive weight limit within Africa for bush flights. For other places, it's usually quite a bit more. So you can pack light, mostly because laundry service is going to be available along the way, and clothes are typically the heaviest thing you're bringing. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Chris@wildland.com, and hope to see you out there on your next adventure.